Welcome back to another episode of the Throw Darts at the Board and Hope They Stick betting DFS show here. How y'all doing? Finally, the playoffs gave us something last night. Nice. I mean, it would be nice if those series were evened up with the Clippers. We had some more stakes, right? I mean, they're looking at trying to win 4 to 5 games. Not great, but yes. The Lakers, LeBron, doing his thing yet again. More big shots, giving us some drama, giving us some stuff to talk about, giving us some reasons to cheer for some basketball. How y'all doing? I see T. Michelle. Let's do it, Sal, over on Twitter. Let's do it. I got it up. I got the projections to my left. I got some props I already got taken, some ownership to my right. I got you beautiful people right in front of me right here. How y'all doing? Let's do it. 3-game slate. We continue to get these 3-game slates. We cannot take them for granted. We will have only showdown slates like a month from now for the NBA. We'll only have like 2-game slates like 2 weeks from now. So we cannot take these for granted. We cannot take these for granted by any means. I see some people who are in here early. Some of the people were saying, my man Franco, he said, hey, I hit 50 racks last night fading the Aaron Rodgers. Can't believe somebody would say to play him in an NBA contest. Yeah. So we got some OGs in here. Somebody saying, I don't even know how that's possible. If you don't know how that's possible, you must have not been here in the OG streets during the NFL season. It's an inside joke. We play Aaron Rodgers no matter what. Whenever people ask me, what is your number 1, number 5, top 5 overall plays? Sometimes I say it. Most of the time I say it. Sometimes I'm feeling like a little bit of a wise guy, and I say, hey, yo, fucking play Aaron Rodgers. If he's on the slate, we resort to Hayden Hurst or somebody random, right? What's good, Sal? What's going on, Will? How you doing, boss man? Do you like Donovan Mitchell tonight? I do. I like Donovan Mitchell tonight. Gasp. Look, I'm projecting Donovan Mitchell for a good amount of minutes. He's low owned. He is probably somewhat near appropriate price. Like, he's not underpriced today at $8,400 for what's expected out of him. Does he come right back in for the first time in a while? Yes, it is a playoff game in play. 38 to 40 minutes? Probably not. But I gave him like 33, 34 minutes of play today at $8,400 at maybe single-digit ownership on a 3-game slate. Maybe he is healthier than we think, although getting his legs under him might need to happen. But again, he could be playing pickup and things like that and actually scrimmaging, and we just don't know about it. So, yeah, I like Mitchell today. Yeah, I do. He's very much like we talked about Anthony Davis yesterday. Davis ends up going off as the best leverage play on the slate. I don't think Mitchell is the best leverage play on the slate because Davis had the ceiling that he showed yesterday. I mean, he scored 30-plus real-life points. He went absolutely off at 10% owned, and hopefully if you ended up playing him in some larger field stuff or really anything, you benefited from that. I don't think Mitchell is that guy today because Davis was $9,600, so Davis was a little bit underpriced. Mitchell is probably appropriately priced today, and obviously there's some things working against him as to why he's lower owned, like the fact that he might only play 30 minutes today. Salvatore, you enjoying chorizo and egg burritos for breakfast yet? I have not had a single. I had one taco here. That was it, and it made me sick. I've not had any chorizos or any breakfast tacos. I mean, I get breakfast tacos as the thing here, so maybe I got to look into them a little bit more. But I got to find myself a nice deli. I think that's what I got to do to find myself. I can't find any delis anywhere around me. Get myself an actual bagel breakfast sandwich. I think Utah's offense starts off slow with Mitchell back. We'll see. I think, if anything, it gets a little bit better, in my opinion. I mean, Jordan Clarkson, obviously 6th man of the year, being out of the rotation more now is not as good, but replacing him with Mitchell, and hopefully a healthy Mitchell, is going to be fine. A 2v2 question for you, and let's start to pull up some of the minutes right now. I could actually pull up so this is the updated top 8 on the day. Let's see if we can get it to fit to the screen like we did yesterday, also marvelously. I don't know what marvelously means. Appreciate the people that were in the chat earlier on, getting up in here, getting all the way up in here. So these are the updated top 8 right now. You can see them on the screen. I currently have 9 yeses, and these are 8 of them. This is the updated top 8 plays in the slate. Not a lot has changed. I updated the projections. I kind of did some finalized stuff. Not a lot has changed from the top-end guys like your Tobias Harris, your Simmons, your Rose, your Valanciunas, your Embiid. You might be asking, Sal, where did Danny Green go? Danny Green is now bumped from being like a number 3, number 4 play to number 10 play. And it's only because he's not a yes anymore. He's a maybe. If I was to say that Danny Green, and we actually said that this morning that he wasn't a yes, Danny Green would still be, and so would Daniel Gafford. It would be a very similar top 8. Daniel Gafford, Danny Green, just like the video this morning, would still be in there, but I opted not to make them yeses. Gafford's going to be low owned, so it looks fine. Danny Green can be high owned. So like I said this morning, the pivot to a Seth Curry, if you have the money, could be decent. Who are you loving on Prize Picks today? Yeah, so we placed one this morning in the video, the price pick, and then right now, these are some of the props I'm liking. I think Jaren Jackson, if you want to be risky, I think that there are some nice opportunities with Donovan Mitchell's over-under still. I try to get it at 35 fantasy points, and I went to 37.5. It's up to 38.5 now, makes it a little bit more risky, but I think Jaren Jackson Jr.'s props are pretty good right now. I haven't placed this yet. I'm about to, but over 11.5 right now on the points in general. He got in foul trouble last time. He missed at least 4 to 5 to 6 minutes of that game. He's 11.5 if he stays out of foul trouble, which is a big if for him. But over the last year or two, when he's been healthy compared to his rookie season, not as much in the foul trouble streets. Over 4 rebounds, I really like on Jaren Jackson Jr. And then Bogdanovic under 19.5. Bojan Bogdanovic, he's been going off pretty frequently. But now Donovan Mitchell is back in the equation for probably 30-plus minutes of play, right? So when that starts to happen, shot attempts start to leave you. He's been shooting very well in general. So I've got Bogdanovic under 19.5. I would say my favorite real-life props, not the fantasy scoring today on Prize Picks. Again, if you want to use the code SAL, if you're a New Yorker out there as well, it's the only place you can currently be betting on in New York right now, legally at least. So you can check it out, link down below, code SAL. Any money you put in, double your money up to $100. Bogdanovic under 19.5 and Jackson over 4 rebounds is my favorite if you just want to put two together, not have as much risk on there, and actually have a better chance to hit it. That's where I'd be going right now personally. So 2v2 question tonight, Kyle Anderson and Joe, Val, or Brooks and Gobert, or none of the above, says my man Ryan. Good question, Ryan. Let's see what we got here. I'll go Kyle Anderson and Jonas Valanciunas. I'll take Jonas Valanciunas, a higher ceiling there personally, I believe. Good afternoon, peeps. Delma here. What does Delma mean? What's going on, Eric? How you doing? Conley or Dilemma, is that what that means? Conley, Capella, and Morant, or Simmons, Collins, and Beal. Give me Simmons, Collins, and Beal. I'm actually high on Beal today. As you can see, he's one of my top. He's my number, 6 overall yesterday. I'm a little bit higher on Beal today just because the price point's dropping. Beal's now in the $8,000 range, and he's a guy who's going to play. He's coming off of a 41-minute game, so give me Beal there. GPP and Ball out with Embiid and Westbrook, and Hope both drop 70+. GPP and Ball out with Embiid and Westbrook. I mean, yeah, there's enough value on the slate today. Like it is a smaller slate, but you have Danny Green, you have Daniel Gafford, you have Nerlens Noel if he plays, right? If he plays, those are 3 guys that basically like 4K flat that are all pretty solid. You have Bertans who played nice minutes and actually scored last game. He's just so hot and cold though, but he's at $3,800, right? So you have Alec Burks if they decide to opt to give him more minutes on the offensive side of it. If this game comes down to being the offensive end is going to win it like the last game. There's another option for you. So, yeah, I think you can definitely play 2 studs today. But there is enough, like, 7 and 8K range studs, quote-unquote studs, like we've seen all postseason. Trae Young, Bradley Beal, guys that are getting there, right? Jonas Valanciunas at $8,000 flat. The Philly guys. So, you would have to have them probably both score you 70+. Yeah. Which seems pretty easy for Westbrook. Hey, Sal, who do you like more today, RJ Barrett or Mike Conley? Give me Mike Conley there. Fellas, says my man Josh. Josh, what's going on, boss man? For the people watching right now, I'm going to be starting. I've been working literally all day today. I haven't left my fucking computer for like 6 hours. Went on a run this morning, working all day on getting the draft guide loaded in the background of this. Actually, let me show you some of that stuff, actually. So I'm doing the running back profiles right now in the draft guide, and I actually remembered for once to get a little fella for this right here, Tobias Harris. There we go. He's really little right there. Holy shit. Let's blow him up. A little bit too blown up, but what are you going to do? It looks rough there for you, Tobias. But I actually got the draft guide started to get done. So it's probably going to be done mid-June. So the people that have pre-ordered already. But yeah, let me. I got some stuff. I just want to see what you guys think of it. I'm going to continue to answer questions, obviously, on the NBA. What do you think about Westbrook today? Think he's great. Think he's a top 8 play in the slate. I'd prefer Embiid though if you're looking for a pay-up. So this is what the draft guide is currently looking like. For each player, you'll get this. You obviously get my rankings, projections for the season, and all that type of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of things in here. Backfield competition for running backs, offensive line play, projected game environments, durability, the changes in the offseason. So there's a lot of stuff in here. The past 2 seasons of production and efficiency metrics. A lot of stuff in here per player. It's going to be for some of the top 30, top 40 at each position, or at least at the running back and wide receiver. So I'm excited to start rolling that out. But in June, the reason I show you that is in June, I'm going to start putting out the NFL content, which is June is around the corner. So what do you guys think about it? Cook at number 4. Oh, no, those aren't like rankings. That's just the numbers that I put them in at. I'm going to get rid of the numbers. Those aren't my rankings. Those are just like where I started to put them in. No, Zeke is my number 6 running back. Cook is my number 3 as of right now. Simmons or Harris today? I'm still going to stick with Harris. I'm still going to take the price discount on Harris if you chose me to choose. If you force me to choose one. I'm still going to enjoy the fact that he's playing closer to the basket like he has been for most of the season with Philadelphia, unlike his previous stops with the Clippers and other locations. So, yes. Fellas. Anthony, what's going on, boss man? Thoughts on Burks, Big Sal, Zay Garcia. How you fucking doing, my man Zay? I love the name Zay. I fucking love that name. Yeah. Burks for me is fine. I like Burks. I'm debating on Burks in my single entry lineup. The problem is he played so well in that last game. It was an offensive side of it, right? I mean, the guy just couldn't fucking miss. He's small forward only, which is nice, but he shot 69% in that game. He shot 9 of 13 in that game. He shot 3 of 5 from 6 3-point land, right? So it's tough to want to go back there. The nice thing is the price doesn't increase all that much, $100 increase, but he played 26 minutes, which is good to see. I do think that he probably plays over 20 minutes, 22, 24 minutes in this game, but he just shot so damn well. I think they're going to give him opportunities to continue to do that, but he's somewhat of a liability on defense. So if he's not shooting well, he's a plus minus negative on the court, right? So that's where it can become an issue. He shot 60 and 69% in back-to-back games. Obviously, him scoring 37 in the last game, right? You don't need 37 at 4,600. You would be happy with the mid to upper 20s. You'd be really happy with that. The problem is he's going to very much depend, like, Burks' production today very much depends on how his first 10 minutes of action go. Is he shooting 1 of 5, 1 of 4? You're not going to get the full run out of Burks. You're probably going to get 20, 22 minutes, and obviously if he's shooting poorly, he's not a winning lineup. But the reason why you play Burks, and this is the reason right here, right? And this is very similar to golf and things like that if a guy's game is on. The reason you're playing Burks today is you are playing him hoping that he is shooting well. And if he's shooting well, he's staying on the court, and if he's staying on the court, he's shooting well, and he's going to be in the winning lineup like last time out. But that's what you have to know. There's no other analysis out there. The minutes aren't stable for Burks. It all depends on his scoring. I like Burks today because I'm willing to take the risk if the ownership is fair. And the ownership on Alec Burks right now, from what I'm seeing, is coming in relatively fair for a 3-game slate. Alec Burks right now is coming in outside the top 10 in ownership, which on a 3-game slate is all I'm really looking for. I don't think it's egregious by any means. Sal, the best in the game. Keep up the amazing work. Also love life lifters with the wifey. Thank you, Frank. I appreciate that, my fellow Italiano. Not the wifey, the girlfriend now of about 3 years or so, but I get the confusion. It probably looks like I'm fucking 30 years old. I'm only 24. So not the wifey, but I appreciate it. You like the Life Update show? Yeah, if anybody hasn't watched it, I saw about 1,000 people have tuned into Life Update. The most recent episode, we're releasing those weekly, my girlfriend and I. Just talking life updates, just talking anything major from like my business point of view, major in our lives, but then also touching on some stuff in the culture, if you will, society and culture. So it's not just all about specifically me, which not a lot of people probably want to hear all that much about. Can't wait to watch the Knicks. So great to see fans in the stadium like that. I agree. The environment was fantastic. Best environment of the entire weekend by far and away was the Knicks. For sure. Fellas, the Joe Val over. I took Jonas Valanciunas over this morning. Fantasy points wise, yes, I indeed did. Let's start to look at some of these lineups that crunched out. So if you're looking at cash builds today, this is the exposures that you're going to see. If you're using the Big Energy Optimizer. Actually, let me pull those back up. Let's actually start with GPP builds. So I put on, so this is my exposures as of right now without putting any groups in. There's just simple exposures. I have to change some things. But this is using my projections on Patreon down below. Check it out. What are you waiting for? My man who won 50 racks by fading Aaron Rodgers, get up in there then. Get up in there. By fading my advice, you did yourself a favor. Yeah, this is what the early exposures is going to look like. Looks like I'm going to be well over the field on Derrick Rose. Danny Green, I don't expect to be this much over the field on once I start to set some rules. Looks like I'm going to be well over the field on a Bradley Beal today. It's nice to see that Bradley Beal is not picking up insane ownership. Like Beal might be 20-25% owned today. I was worried that Beal might be the Chris Paul play of yesterday, where he's a little bit more expensive than Paul yesterday, $1,200 more if I remember correctly, but he's not going to be 30-40% owned on the slate. It helps that Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, this is actually a really positive thing. Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons being as cheap as they are on this slate today, and I'll pull up some of the minutes. Let's pull up some of the minutes for some of these teams if people want to gander at them. I'll pull up the Knicks minutes because I think that's going to be interesting for Burks and Derrick Rose today. These are my minutes projections right here in this column. But Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons, great plays in their own right. Feel free to play one or both of them. But since they're going to be so highly owned and in so many lineups today, it's going to naturally spread out the ownership on everybody else in like the 6 to 8 to 9K range. Right? It's going to naturally spread out the ownership on those guys like a Bradley Beal today. It's naturally going to make Jonas Valanciunas a little bit lower. Also, his position will do that, right? I think that RJ Barrett at 16, 15, somewhere there, probably ownership today, is somebody that I'm really debating on RJ Barrett. The Knicks guards, getting the Knicks guards right today is probably the winning formula. Derrick Rose, Alec Burks, RJ Barrett, hell, even Reggie Bullock if he sees more run. RJ Barrett's an interesting case study because he got in a little bit of foul trouble, right? He wasn't playing well. And Alec Burks and Derrick Rose were shooting fantastic, which just kind of kept him off the court a little bit. RJ Barrett was getting to the basket, but not obviously it's not his game to shoot jump shots. Very Russell Westbrook-esque, get to the basket, do your damage there. RJ Barrett is not going to play 32 minutes again. He's more than likely going to play on average 36 plus in this series, right? So Barrett, if he comes in with like no ownership today, the price point is fair on him. He's not a slam dunk player, but if he gets back up to his 37, 38 minutes of play, yeah, he can score you at that price point, upper 30s. Aaron Rodgers in every spot today, says Tommy, for sure. Gafford and Hachi or Hachimura. Yeah, so Rui versus Gafford today. I have Gafford ranking out higher. I'm going to go Gafford there. I think Gafford will be probably close to half the ownership as well. Can't wait for football season, Sal, says Sean Chappell in the chat. I cannot wait either. Look, we're closer than people think to football season. I mean, for me, the content starts in June, but we're a lot closer than people think for football season right now because it starts like the second week of August is the preseason. 3 weeks of the preseason, you know your boy's covering it. And the preseason is not just one night a week. That's what's amazing about the preseason. There's going to be DFS tournaments, probably 100K to first, and there's going to be a lot of just prop sites like Prize Picks and stuff will have tournaments, and contests. But the nice thing is that with the preseason, it's not just y'all, you're just playing on Sunday night. No. The preseason is like there's a game on Sunday, Saturday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So it's great. There's like 3-game series for football. So the preseason is great. So we are only, as of right now, 2.5 months away from the NFL DFS betting season, which is fantastic. Randall tonight? Yeah, I like Randall. Randall is my number 9 overall play on the slate today. I like Randall. I would prefer over Randall today, Bradley Beal at $8,800. But other than that, Randall's probably the guy. Valanciunas or Capella? Give me Valanciunas today. Capella's unders on rebounds in the postseason. I think that leaning the under in this series against a big team. I mean, maybe we see what happens with Nerlens Noel out there, but even Taj Gibson has been holding his own. Capella's unders at rebounds seem pretty nice for us. Zeke number 3, he was not motivated at all last year. So the Zeke number 3, he's my number 6 running back this year. Don't sleep on Zeke. He was a top 3 running back when Dak was healthy for 4 weeks last year. He lost his top 5. Only one offensive lineman made it through the season last year, right? He lost his top 4 offensive linemen, 1 to retirement, 3 to injury. They're all coming back. He had the 29th ranked offensive line last year. Dallas with those guys has been in the top 7 for the last 5 years before last year. Zeke, in my opinion, he's still young. He's still, 26 years old. Zeke Elliott was leading the league in routes run and targets and receptions for running backs in the first 4 weeks of the season. That Dallas defense, I don't expect to be better. They took a linebacker, which was not really a position of need, although the best player available, Micah Parsons, so I get that. But Ezekiel Elliott, people want to bury him. Number 6 overall running back, and I'm considering pushing it higher. What do you think of Taj for salary relief? I will be going to Taj pretty heavily if Nerlens Noel is out. Taj picked up a little bit more run because Nerlens Noel got banged up towards the end of that last game, which doesn't make it makes his performance not stable or consistent by any means. What do you think about DeAndre Hunter? Like just plugging him into the back of my lineup. Yeah, so DeAndre Hunter started in the last game. He's been very limited. I don't think you're going to see that minutes limit rise dramatically since the last game, but he did play 22 minutes. We've seen him play 24 minutes in a game on the 16th against Houston. So at $4,000 flat, the problem for Hunter is he's not a high usage player. He was pretty productive because he was getting rebounds. He was playing a different position prior to his injury, but now they kind of have a different rotation that they're running out there with, right? They have different guys on this team now. Sal, how old are you? I'm 24 and I turned 25 June 30th. Self-identifying information, giving out a little bit too much now. Please do not come and murk me. DeAndre Hunter is not in a player pool for me. I don't think he is right now. So, I'm not there. I think there's just better 4K options. Like 4K flat Danny Green is going to be a lot higher owned, sure, but Daniel Gafford won't be owned at $4,100. Nerlens Noel right now is coming in with modest ownership because of the injury tag. So those guys are all basically the same price point. Even Royce O'Neal I'd prefer to a Hunter today. Josh Jacobs is a top 10 player, somebody says. Not for me. Not for me personally right now. I have Josh Jacobs. Let's see where he's at. My rankings are nowhere near finalized. I have Jacobs as my RB24, but I do think there's merit to push him higher. Jacobs will be higher than my RB24. There's a lot of negative connotation coming in because Kenyon Drake's coming there, right? And I don't know why they signed him, but Jacobs was massively used last year in that team. Like top 5 in a lot of different areas. Of course, guys got hurt like Saquon, and of course guys Joe Mixon and McCaffrey, right? So it does push him a little bit higher. But last year, I mean, he ended up seeing 318 total opportunities, 21.2 per game. Only 2 players saw more than that last year, one being Derrick Henry. He was number 5 in yards created, number 4 in evaded tackles. Josh Jacobs continued to play really good last year. The problem is he just doesn't catch passes, and you want that to happen for your running backs these years. But Kenyon Drake's not an elite pass catcher. He's a fine pass catcher, but yeah, I think an RB2 is definitely in the cards for him. Thoughts on Gafford at the center position and pivoting off of Joel to stack other positions? I think that's fine. There's other pay-ups you can go to, whether it's Bradley Beal or Russell Westbrook, of course, all the way up there. Jaren Jackson Jr., I like him. I'm going to be higher on the field than higher on Jaren Jackson Jr. than the field today is the proper way to say that. Let's pull up right now Jaren Jackson Jr. Let's pull up Memphis' minutes so you can see what I got going on there. I got Jaren Jackson Jr. today for 28 minutes. Look, he played 23 and a half, 24 in that last game. That's factoring in the foul trouble, right? You like Gibson if Noel is out? Yes. Does Randall have a comeback game tonight? I believe so. Gibson a must if Noel is out? I believe so. He's going to start, and you're not going to get many better values. Westbrook and Beal or Embiid and Trae Young? Embiid and Trae Young for me. Westbrook doesn't have ceiling games against Simmons. Fade him. I don't know how much I believe that. It's just a small sample. Just a small sample. What do you think about the under on Embiid's real points total 32.5? I took the under. I think if anything, I would lean the under there, yeah. I think if anything, the under is the better play there. I am very high on Embiid today, but that's more so on DraftKings. His prop market isn't that great. The under on his points and the under on his 3.5 assists, if anything, look good. But yeah, I'm not really touching any of the player props as much as just playing him in DFS. Burks or Hoarder? Burks. You like Randall tonight? Yeah, my number 9 overall play. Gobert has a ceiling game. I'm not seeing that. Anyone looking nice under 4K today? Davis Bertans and Taj Gibson. Gibson will be the option if there's no Nerlens Noel. Trae Young or Bradley Beal? Beal for me. How does Quickly look for you today? New York's minutes, let's pull them up on the screen. I'm not interested in Quickly. I gave Quickly today 16 minutes, which might actually be high if RJ Barrett plays more minutes. But there's always the chance. There's always a chance that Alfred Payton's just out of the rotation. Only played 8 minutes and started in the last game. Had a turnover and a foul right away, and then they ended up subbing him out, which allowed Derrick Rose and really Alec Burks to get some time. But Quickly, I don't think you're going to see a lot out of him, sadly. For some breakfast bagels, I got to say Nervous Charlie's off of North Lamar is a spot. Trust me, it's fire. Nervous Charlie's. Do you know any delis? So like breakfast sandwiches, that's fine. But do you know like any delis where I can go in and they got like the Italian cookies? I know I'm probably speaking a foreign language around here. But even Raleigh, North Carolina had a couple places like that. You go, they got like the meats in the counter. They got the pasta salads out there. Like I'm not talking a supermarket deli, but I'm talking like a traditional deli. You go in there, you say, hey, let me get a ham and cheese, peppers, provolone, Munster cheese, right, all that type of stuff. But Nervous Charlie's, I'm going to screenshot that. I'm going to screenshot Nervous Charlie's. I assume you live out here, my man, Jonathan. Let's get to some of the most recent stuff. Alfred Payton, he's in the starting lineup, and Nerlens Noel now a game-time decision. Fade, question mark. Nerlens Noel game-time decision. I mean, he's not going to be owned, so I'm just going to kind of wait that one out, I would say. Alfred Payton will remain in starting lineup. All right. I mean, I projected Alfred Payton to play today. I gave Payton what I give him 8 minutes. So, I mean, we'll see the spot start again on that motherfucker. What about Julius Randle? I have Randle projected as my number 9 overall play, 47.73 fantasy points today. Would you play Clarkson, Bogdan, or Conley? Conley if I had to pick one. Do I fade Nerlens Noel? I don't fade Nerlens Noel. If Nerlens Noel starts and plays today, I like him because he'll be lower owned, and he's a cheap value. Like, Nerlens Noel might be the best value play in the slate today. Because that questionable tag, if he wasn't questionable today, and sure, the injury might be a real thing, but if Noel wasn't questionable today, at $4,000 flat, Nerlens Noel is going to be one of the higher owned players. He'd probably be higher owned than Danny Green, who's going to pick up some ownership at the same price. What good? New Texas? Yeah, I'm new to Texas as of a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Projection on Thibault at 3.2K today. You're not going to like it. I got Thibault for 9.7 fantasy points. Beal or Young? I'll take Beal. D. Brooks today. D. Brooks is in a player pool, but not a priority. Simmons, Trae, Embiid, and Randall. Pick 3. If I had to pick 3, I'd go Randall, Embiid, and Simmons. Dwight Howard or Daniel Gafford? Give me Daniel Gafford there. Do you like Brooks today? Barely. Noel game time decision. Don't forget 17 regular season games, 2 for the NFL this year. Correct. You love to see it. We lose a week of the preseason, but we get the extra game in there. Sal, my guy, nice shirt. Hey, I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been looking for nice shirts. I had one the other day. I'm probably gonna go shopping maybe Friday afternoon. Tomorrow I got to do a lot with this draft guide. Which if you do want to get the draft guide, you want to pre-order it, I can send you the link. It's in any of the NFL videos I've already done. The live streams for the drafts for underdog drafts. The draft guide link to pre-order it is in there. To get it at a 50% off price if you sign up through PrizePicks. And even if you already have signed up through PrizePicks, there's a way to still get it and not even spend any more money. You just have to refer a friend or a significant other, right? Something like that. Should I stack both Gobert and Valanciunas? Gobert had a big problem with Valanciunas last time out. I don't think it's going to be every single game, but a big problem with Valanciunas' size last time out. And Valanciunas played massive minutes. I'm fine playing both of them. I'd much rather play Valanciunas and find somebody else. You got any minutes for Sweet Lou? My man Paul says, what's up? Lou Williams, I am projecting in today for 12 minutes of play. As you can see right now on the screen, there are Atlanta's full team minutes. Let me actually take out some guys so you can see the exact full run. So here is Atlanta's full run of minutes on the screen for you. So who are your favorite two on Prize Picks for a power play today? Yeah, so we'll pull up Prize Picks again. So I placed some props. I took the over 37.5. I couldn't get 35. My man Brett out there, he was hitting me in the DMs saying that he makes the lines for Prize Picks, and he was like, I heard you call me a slimy motherfucker this morning. I said, you slimy motherfuckers, you sneaky bastards out there. But yeah, we just missed it. Literally, like the second I clicked, placed the over 35, it moved to 37.5, and I was like, son of a bitch, this man's up at 7:30. It was 6:30 here my time. I was like, yeah, be fucking kidding me. 2 points too, not even a half a point or a fucking point. God damn. Great minds, they say. But right now, I think my favorite options are the over 4 rebounds on Jaren Jackson, and the under 19.5 with Donovan Mitchell back. And I'm higher on Donovan Mitchell than the market, but under 19.5 for Bojan because Donovan Mitchell's back. I mean, that would even be high if Donovan Mitchell was out 19.5 for Bojan, right? And then the over 4 rebounds for Jaren Jackson Jr. if he can stay out of foul trouble. I do like that. Barrett, Collins, or Conley today? Give me Conley. What about Tyus Jones today? Tyus Jones, not many minutes for my man Tyus Jones today. I got Tyus Jones at 12 minutes of play. Let's pull up the full run again for Memphis. Memphis's full run is on the screen right now. I don't have any minutes for John Concord. We can get him out of there for now. Oops, whoopsies. Tyus Jones in the full run for that team is on the screen right now. Simmons, Trae, and Embiid. We already picked 3 for that one. What about Tyus Jones? Should I stack both Valanciunas and Gobert? Yeah, I wouldn't be playing Tyus Jones. Stacking Valanciunas and Gobert, I would choose one, and I would choose Valanciunas. Where do you rank Gobert today? Let me see. My overall rank for Rudy Gobert today is, it's not bad. He is my number 10 overall play today. Rudy Gobert is my number 10 overall play today. You can stack them. The problem there is that that's a lot of money you're investing in the center position and your utility spot. So when you stack a Jonas Valanciunas at 8K and a Rudy Gobert at 7,700, you're probably eliminating yourself from playing a stud, I would guess, right? Up top, Russell Westbrook at that price point. Or you're eliminating yourself from playing 2 of a Bradley Beal, a Trae Young, the Philly guys, right? It's very easy to build a balanced lineup, though, today. Go to the 2 Philly guys. Go to Trae Young. Go to Bradley Beal. Like, that's a lot of expensive guys, but it's a balanced lineup with a bunch of guys that have got 50-point upside. I mean, both those Philly guys did it last game. Trae Young did it last game. Bradley Beal literally did it last game, right? All 4 of those guys. Pretty nice. Why are a lot of people asking about Tyus Jones? Horder or Bullock today? I'll go with Horder there. I'm not too sure why people are asking about Tyus Jones so much. He played 12 minutes and had 14 points in the last game, but I would not expect him to average 1.1 fantasy points per minute moving forward. I have him at 12 minutes again. Beal or trade tonight? I'll take Beal, Aaron Rodgers in every single spot. You got to. Sal, my guy, nice shirt. Appreciate it. Yeah, I want to get some more nice shirts. I just like colorful shirts. Also, I am not even attempting to grow out my facial hair, but it's not looking bad right now. The problem with my facial hair, it all connects fine. I just have really sensitive skin, so it irritates my skin, and I either break out one or I get very itchy. So, like, this is like the max that I can go, and this is like 3 days. This is like the max I can go before it starts to become an actual issue for me. Start getting some acne or just start itching, and it's just not enjoyable. Somebody says, that shirt is fire. Man, we got a lot of people boosting my confidence. Yeah, I'm trying to increase the wardrobe. I feel like I'm doing a good job at it. There's like a Zara. There's an H&M. Anybody shop at All Saints? I seen it on the street. I don't know if it's like a really bougie store or if it's just kind of like a Zara or an H&M and like those styles of stores. That's where I typically frequently shop, like the affordable but stylish clothing. I'm just looking for colorful shirts now, but I'm not being crazy. Like I saw this wild yellow SpongeBob shirt the other day, and I was like, can't touch that. I like George Hill tonight. Ooh. You like the veteran to get some more run. Gallo, viable pivot to highly owned Green. He is a viable pivot if you need to go that low. I'd rather go to the exact same price point Nerlens Noel if he plays, or Daniel Gafford. Elf is still starting. Yep, that's fine. Was expected, but was hoping we wouldn't see that. Are you still getting too much Embiid with such high interest in Simmons and Harris and Green? I'm getting a lot of Embiid, yeah. No love for Favors. He gave him 14 minutes, fantasy point per minute producer. It's tough to get there. I mean, Favors, can he be the 3 nights ago, Dwayne Dedmon type play where he plays 15 minutes and scores 30? Favors is the exact same mold. Older player, center, who's a high producing center, fantasy point per minute producer. But I'm not going to rely on that. Sal for president, somebody says. Oh, boy. Porter or Curry? Curry. Sal, what do you think about Favors tonight? Good, sir. Yeah, so I'll give you, since a couple people have asked about Favors, I'll give you the exact rank on him. Favors ranks 37 overall for me today for 13.6 fantasy points. He's not in a player pool. As of right now, guys that I have at least 5% ownership on, I have 5% or more ownership on 28 players, and I currently have yeses on Patreon of 9 guys. So those are the priorities. I'll drop the link to Patreon where you can get access to the Optimizer. So you get access to the Optimizer one. You get access to the projections, the ranks, all that type of stuff. PGA event starts tomorrow, MMA event on Saturday. All that stuff and more. MLB projections daily. You can check it out. Join the lovely community that we have going on over there. What about the other Bogdan from Atlanta? I think he's a sneakier play today, yes. I think Bogdanovich is somebody that I expect to be over the field on a large field stuff because Bogdanovich, although expensive, $6,900, cheaper than he has been, right? Trey's going to be a little bit more ball dominant in the playoffs. Maybe Sweet Lou plays a little bit more. But Bogdanovich is going to play big minutes. Bogdanovich is going to average a fantasy point per minute. And if he can play big minutes, meaning 36 to 38 plus, Bogdanovich is going to be like 12 to 15% owned today. This is Bogdan, not Bojan. I don't like really Bojan. I think he's overpriced with Mitchell back. But Bogdanovich, we said yesterday Anthony Davis was the best leverage play in the slate. Sometimes you get lucky. We got lucky yesterday. And what does leverage play mean? A guy who has a lot of ceiling upside that's going to be like 15% or less owned, right? If I had to say who that guy was tonight, I don't think Jonas Valanciunas will be that low owned. I think his positionality makes it so. I do think that guys like John Morant will be that low owned. But Bogdan Bogdanovich is probably that guy for me today. So he doesn't have as high of a ceiling as Davis. He doesn't get there as frequently. He's not playing power forward in some center and down the stretch like Davis, right? And he's not one of the best players on the planet, if not a top 3, top 5 player in the NBA, Anthony Davis. Maybe not this season, but, the last 5 to 10 years, if you say their value right now for a team moving forward. So, yeah, I think that Bogdanovich is that leverage play today because he might be 8 to 10% owned. I didn't play Anthony Davis in my single entry yesterday, kicking myself. Played him in some larger 20 max stuff. I might play Bogdanovich today. I might take the stand on him today and play him in the single entry lineup. Call me crazy, but I think Bertans is going to bust a Joe Harris tonight. Yeah, the problem with, Joe Harris is much more consistent than Bertans. But yeah, Joe Harris paid off his over 11.5 prize picks prop yesterday in 6 minutes. Just insane. I wasn't even watching the game. I was out to dinner with my girlfriend. But when I swiped and looked at my phone, literally for like 2 seconds when we were leaving the restaurant, I saw like everybody saying, it's Joe Harris night, it's Joe Harris night. James Harden doesn't even have to play tonight, it's Joe Harris night. I was like, what is he doing? And then I saw, and I was like, oh, Lord. But Bertans played his run. He got his 28 minutes. Will Bertans shoot 4 of 8 from three-point land again today? Right? This is a guy who was a very streaky shooter. This is his three-point percentages in the last couple of games. Gonna break my headphones. I've broken them too many times. We can't keep doing that, Sal. Get through your motherfucking head, your concussed head. 50%, 33%, 0%, and that's on 7 shots. 42%, 27%, 40%, 56, 25, 33, right? This guy is as streaky as it gets. As streaky as it gets as a three-point shooter. But at low ownership, at a cheap price point, you want that. You want that volatility. Any news on Noel? The most recent news on Noel, I believe, was that he is just going to be questionable today. He is a game time decision officially today. So game time decision, he went through shoot around, which is a positive. Game time decision, I'm still projecting him in. I'm giving him 25 minutes of play today. But as of right now, a game time decision. I'm in Folsom State Prison. Help me win some commissary money, bro. I don't know if Desi is serious right now. You're tuning in from prison? Is that what prison's like these days? Like, they just let you on YouTube and play DFS? No fucking way. I don't doubt it. Like, if you got some money in your bank account and you got access to the internet and you're in a legal DFS state, which is like fucking all of them, hey, well, we'll help you win some money to buy whatever the fuck you want to buy. I'm going to assume that this is a real. I know this is the internet and people are trying to joke around a lot, so odds are it's that, but I'm going to assume it's real. How can I help? How can I help you out? Paige Coleman says, hi, how you doing? Sound playing the Prize Picks promo. Who do you like more, Bogdanovich under or Jackson? Just need one. The Bogdanovich under 19.5 I like more because Jackson I like a good amount, but foul trouble is always an issue there. If you're in prison and have $1,000 or more, you can have anything you want, including a phone, somebody says. I don't know anything about prison, so wild shit, man. How can we get my man out of there? The phone's not legal, somebody said. Are you actually in prison right now? Fuck you do, man. Also, do you normally use all the salary in your lineups? Most of it. Right now, actually, in these crunches that we showed earlier, like these these lineups at the optimizer, the big energy optimizer, you can put in some player group rules, randomness, all that type of stuff, uniques. Very, very nice tool. Sign up down below, Patreon, get up in there, right? Keep this business afloat right here. But I actually have my max salary at $49,900 for large field tournaments. So I just you can set it in the optimizer, right? You can set your max salary spent, max exposures too, but max salaries, I have it at $49,900. That's for 150s. For like single entry and 3 max, I'm fine if I spend it all because I know I can get unique somewhere. and I'll play in some smaller field stuff. But this is what the line optimizer is starting to build out, and I do like this a good amount. Obviously, Tobias Harris and Ben Simmons are going to be highly owned, right? It's giving us a couple of guys from the same team, 3 guys from Washington. But I like this a good amount because Rui and Daniel Gafford, yeah, okay, like values from that team, it's fine, right? Like Derrick Rose, like Royce O'Neal, Jonas Valanciunas is going to be like 18% owned. Bradley Beal will be like 20% owned. So we're not getting any insane sleepers outside of Gafford, but we don't need that if we're playing in some small field single entry 3 max. And we have the ceilings on some of these guys. Somebody like Davis Bertans earlier in the chat. Here's your Davis Bertans lineup. Gives you Trae Young. Low-owned Davis Bertans, relatively low-owned Rudy Gobert today. Jaren Jackson Jr. will be picking up not as much ownership. There's some upside. Best parlay to play tonight. Yeah, so we talked about some stuff a little bit earlier. How are you? I'm doing well. Yeah, you could use the internet in jail. I knew that. Do you think John Collins' ceiling is stuck in the 20s against a strong New York? No, I do not believe so. I have John Collins today projected out actually for, let's see. I mean, I've got Collins today projected out for 32.3, so I don't think his ceiling is in the 20s. Unless you're saying real life points, then probably. I actually am in prison. $3,500 for phones, not legal, but worth it. Oh, my God. Damn. Desi. Well, at least you get to play DFS. I mean, that's pretty fucking good. I mean, I'd say like 85 to 95% of the motherfuckers watching this right now, none of their lives would change if they can just be in prison and play and have access to DFS and sports. Lives wouldn't change at all. It's just a joke. Somebody says Brooks or Barrett. Sheesh. You have exposure to Gibson with projecting Noel likely in. Let's see what the optimizer gave me of Gibson. Yeah, I have exposure to Gibson. I'll let you know exactly how much. As of right now, the final half hour, I'm going to be putting in rules, so this is going to change, but it shouldn't change dramatically. I've got about 18% Taj Gibson right now, and that's projecting in. Gibson's coming in at around 25%, so I'll be slightly below the field there. My man got that shout out from Folsom. Yeah, I don't know what Folsom is, but apparently it's a prison. People be wilding in the chat. Somebody says Neff. You like Neff? I mean, I just found this in like a fucking TJ Maxx or a Burlington. I think it was a Burlington. I do like Neff though. So if I ever find a Neff store, I mean, the internet's at my fingertips, but I never remember to do that. Where do you hide a phone, dude, in lockdown? Beal and Gafford or Conley and Brooks? Give me Beal and Gafford. I like that ownership combination there and the upside of that. What do the letters in the shirt mean? It's just a company. It's Neff, N-E-F-F. Just a company. I don't know if it stands for something, but I think it's just a company. Somebody says free Desi. Is it Deezy or Desi? Is it D like 2 E's kind of pronounced? Like Drizzy, but Deezy. Quickly worth a dart, not for me. It's a nice looking shirt, somebody says. Thank you, I appreciate that. We're getting so many people commenting on the shirt today. Thank you. Yeah, I thought the color scheme was nice, so I was like, hey, we're going to get it. Looks like Easter. Alfred Payne been getting no minutes lately. You confident in him tonight? No, not at all. I got him projected for 8 minutes. I have no interest at all. I hope he's a spot start yet again. I mean, he got in foul trouble and had a turnover. That's why they pulled him. So I'm not shocked to see. I'm really not shocked at all if Alfred Payne plays 16 to 18 minutes tonight. That would come at the expense of Alec Burks. That would come at the expense to an extent of Reggie Bullock and Derrick Rose. You think Brooks will have another big game with Mitchell coming back? I'm not going to expect them to have as big of a game. I think more so because John Morant and Jonas Valanciunas will be more efficient with their minutes played. Thoughts on DeAndre Hunter? I'm not there. I think there's way too many. There's better options in that price range. I think there's somewhat of a hard minutes cap on him around 2024. If Noel plays, I like him more. If Danny Green, he's going to be highly owned, but I like him more. I like Gafford more. Collins or Hunter today? Collins. Do you like Gafford better than Noel? If Noel starts, I'd like Noel better. Why Barrett over Brooks does everything? Brooks does do everything, but right now let's see where I have them. I've got Brooks projected for 29.3 points today, and I've got Barrett for 31.36. Barrett is my number 17 overall play, and Brooks is my number 27 overall play. So I have Barrett significantly ahead of Brooks today. And also you have to keep in mind that like that last game from both of those players is the extreme upside, right? Is the extreme upside for a Brooks. That's not going to probably happen again in the playoffs. And the Barrett game might have been his bottom game, right? He only played 32 minutes. Barrett's going to be like 12 to 15% owned today. It's Barrett and Bogdanovich is like the two big leverage pieces on this slate, in my opinion. Those guys play big minutes. Those guys are somewhat streaky. Those guys contribute in more ways, usually rebounds, than just shooting, right? But I'll take Barrett over Brooks. I think you'll get a lower ownership number probably on him. And I think that the way that those two players are trending in terms of people's interest for ownership and also somewhat of the price points, you just got the big game out of Brooks and the bad game out of Barrett. So I think that recency bias is there. The nice thing about Brooks, though, is that he fills shooting guard, small forward. But, yeah, I mean, I would expect Brooks to play some massive minutes. Brooks has now scored 40 or more fantasy points in, 3 out of his last 5 games, 3 of his last 4 games. What are your thoughts about stacking Randall, Trey, and Embiid? Yeah, I'm not against it. It seems fine. Kind of like Beal a little bit more than Trey, though. Lights are on Brooks. He's becoming a star. Easy now. I mean, Brooks played one playoff game. And he did play well. He shot 26 motherfucking times. But in that game, I believe, was Ja in foul trouble? I believe Ja was in foul trouble, right? How many personal fouls did he? Did he have 5 or 4? 2 personal fouls, so I think I'm thinking of probably the Knicks game. I'm in Alcatraz. Is there an NBA team in San Francisco yet? I mean, you got one in Sacramento. You got 2 in LA. None in San Diego. If Noel plays, do you still take a shot on Gibson? Yeah, I currently have Noel projected in, and I'm still getting 18% Gibson. The Warriors playing, and you have the Warriors. I forgot about the fucking Warriors, the Bay Area. The Warriors playing San Francisco. Unfortunately, I'm from Oakland, so I'm bitter about it. Yeah, I don't know why the Warriors didn't come to mind. They're literally in San Fran. Sorry, you're not supposed to say San Fran. SF. Reggie Bullock gets his minutes back, but can he be trusted? No. Grayson Allen, a punt option? Yes. I'm getting too many Sixers for some reason. You know what? Like, the more that I look at this, Dylan Brooks, I mean, he's projecting out for me for like around 30 fantasy points, but man, oh man, are we really going to, like, the minutes on this guy lately? 40, 45, although in an overtime game, one of those, right? In the playing game. 40, 45, 36. Damn. 36, 37. What do I have him at for minutes today? I've got Brooks I've got him at 36 minutes. Yeah, I got him at 36 minutes, and he's still projecting out for me as a good play, but not a great play. For 29.30 fantasy points. Watch out for them shakedowns, Doozy. Do you like Gafford better than Noel? As of right now, yes, but if Noel actually starts, I'll probably like him more just because the owner. I answered earlier with Noel. Obviously, you're going to get more consistent minutes there, better matchup, so yeah, I'll stick with Noel. How you guys doing today? How you guys doing? We are what? Less than an hour away from lock, 50 minutes away from lock. I don't think we've gotten any new news on this 3-game slate. Nope. Mitchell without a timetable to return. Got a lot of questions coming in. I appreciate y'all tuning in. Over under on through the legs passes tonight. I don't know. Give me a number. I got a few tuck spots. I don't. This is being wild right now. NATO a good punt? No. I love that we don't say San Fran. Yeah, I was in San Francisco for 3 months. San Ramon area, really nice area, with General Electric, GE Digital. Folsom stays right outside of Sacramento. I would tell y'all how to look me up, but I'm scared somebody's gonna call up here and tell on me. Oh man. Updated top players. Yeah, let's see right now. Updated top players are currently, let's pull it up in the double box. Currently on the screen, these are my updated top 8 yeses. I have only 9 yeses today, and these are currently 8 of them. Did you do prize picks? Yes, I did. If you have a specific question, let me know, and we can definitely break it down more if you need some more information over on the prize picks or any player props streets today. Obviously, definitely covering those. Burks or Hoarder? Give me Burks. Somebody says you snitches. Yeah, ain't no snitches in this chat. How do you feel about Quickly? I'm not there. 16 minutes, and I honestly think that could be less if Barrett starts to get his minutes back and if Peyton plays anything more than 8, which I do probably expect him to push more than that because he had a bad foul and a turnover early, which kind of shot any chance of him playing more than 8 minutes in that last game because Burks and Rose kind of went the fuck off after that. Danny Green or Royce O'Neal? Royce O'Neal will probably be half as owned. If ownership is an issue for you, I would go to Royce O'Neal, but I would actually go to Nerlens Noel. I would pivot to Nerlens Noel if he plays. Going to be lower owned and similar to more upside than Danny Green. So my answer will be Nerlens Noel if he plays. Thoughts on Lou Williams? Gave him 12 minutes. There's an upside for him to play like 16, but the problem is he just doesn't play defense, and they're going to need defense in that game. So there's not much I can do. He doesn't play defense. He's going up against a good defense. He's got a lot of guards ahead of him, right? Obviously, Trae Young, Bogdanovich, Hoarder. There's just so many guards ahead of him right there on that team. It's just so hard for him to get any more run when he can't play defense. SuperDraft picks. Somebody says, yeah, the top SuperDraft plays today. Yeah, I got right now on SuperDraft, I've got 8 yeses. If you're not playing on SuperDraft, check it out. It's linked down below. Code SAL gets you $20 just to play with, just right away. Deposit match, SuperDraft. $2,000 to first in their NBA contest now, multiplier format. My highest projected plays are Westbrook, Jonas Valanciunas, and Randall. I think Jonas Valanciunas is the best player over there at a 1.35x multiplier. I got him for over 58 SuperDraft points, basically a neck-and-neck tie for Westbrook for the most points. Outside of Jonas Valanciunas, Ben Simmons a 1.3x multiplier, and Derrick Rose a 1.55x multiplier. How do you feel about Randall, my number 9 overall play, 47.5 points? He's the first guy that is off this list. If this list was one more guy, Randall would be on it. Okay, there you go. Somebody says, hold your head, bro. I'm calling up Folsom right now and letting them know Dizzy Diz said, give me those Dollarooskies. Mitchell points under on Prize Picks, ? Mitchell points is not a bet for me personally. It would make sense if you think he's limited today to take the under, but I'm not sold that Donovan Mitchell is limited, and that's real points. Fantasy points actually already have his over 37.5 today, and I don't mind the over 38.5. I've got Mitchell for about 42.5 fantasy points today, but real life points, I'm not taking it. It's a no bet for me. I'm not sold that Donovan Mitchell is going to be on a 30 minute limit today in the postseason. When he said in that last game, why the fuck am I not playing? Like, he wants to go out there and play. He seems to be ready to go. Can he play 30 minutes? Sure. He's been injured for a long time. Can he play 34 today? Yeah, maybe. So that's the issue. I'm not willing to take that risk on an over-under just straight points prop, which relies the most on minutes, right? Noel is starting. Perfect. We don't got to update anything. We'd love to see that. So, yeah, like Nerlens Noel is one of the best value plays in the slate today. Assuming that there's the news out that he's starting. I don't see an update on Fantasy Labs, but I'm taking your word for it, I guess. Do you like Nato? He's starting. I expect Nato to start. I expect him and Ish Smith to basically split those minutes. So I like Nato as much as I like Ish Smith today. So you want to know where that ranks out for me? Let's see. Nato ranks out for me today. He's not in my player pool as my 34th overall play, and Ish Smith is my 39th overall play. Westbrook under 22.5 real points on Prize Picks today. Under 22.5 real points for Westbrook. Let me see. So under 22.5 real points today, it's going to be a no bet for me. It's going to be a no for me, dog. Yeah, I'd lean the under there. Yeah, I actually think that's pretty decent. I've got him for around 20.8, so it's pretty decent. Beal over 5 rebounds. All right, here we go. We're starting to get some player props. Beal over 5 rebounds today. Beal over 5 rebounds for me is it a bet or is it a no bet? Beal over 5 rebounds is going to be a no bet. What's the ownership on Brooks today? I expect 20 to 22%. I need a win. A GBB to buy my way out of this bitch. You can just buy your way out of there? I mean, what? Bail? So did you do Prize Picks yet? We have. We kind of done it a couple times. We're just infusing it. So if you have any specific questions, you can let me know. Bogdan, Rose, or Conley? If you need a leverage piece, Bogdanovich. If you're not worried about ownership in the lineup you're playing already, then Rose. Better option, Danny Green or Seth Curry? For the ownership, give me Seth Curry. Mitchell probably won't be limited, but do you think any Jazz players will benefit greatly from his return? Gobert maybe to a little bit. They kind of play off of each other nicely and pick and roll. That's about it. Everybody else, for the most part, is going to not benefit. Curry, Rose, or Anderson? Rose there. Thibault ? Got him for about 9.7 fantasy points, so not for me. Embiid or Randall today? Embiid if I had to pick one. Closer than people think. Quickly or Nato? Give me Nato. Watch out, Disney might kidnap you, Sal. Yeah, don't murk me, man. We're friends. Aaron Rodgers went cliff diving in Hawaii. Does that make Derek Favors a decent play? I think that I saw Aaron Rodgers. He's looking nice. He's looking lean. He's looking caveman-esque. I mean, he just looks like 30 years older than his wife, fiance, girlfriend. But do you, my man, Aaron? Do you? He's smelling the roses right now. No, we're still going to go with Aaron Rodgers. Even though his head's not in the game, he's just cliff diving. And he's smelling the roses, so he's as relaxed as possible. So when he goes out there today, I mean, my guess is that his head is as clear as ever to just knock down about 7 or 8 threes. You thought Joe Harris had a good game? You thought Joe Harris did something nice yesterday. Wait till Aaron Rodgers steps on the court today. Just wait. What's your favorite cash play lineup? I'm not going to do a whole lineup right now, my man, but probably the top cash plays today are Tobias Harris, Ben Simmons, Derrick Rose, Embiid, Danny Green. Still like Danny Green. He's probably not making my single entry lineup. Late game leverage ? You can if you need to, yeah. I mean, if you like your lineup without having a leverage piece to pivot off of in the late games, you don't have to do it. Westbrook or Beal? If I have to pick one, give me Beal. Is Bertans Joe Harris tonight? Probably not. Bogdanovich, if anything, might be. Jaren Jackson Jr., more minutes tonight, not been consistent. Yeah, I like him for more minutes tonight. I have him for 28. Would not be shocked if he plays 30. He just gets in foul trouble sometimes, and that's what happened last game. Hey, Sal, Trey or Jonas Valanciunas today? I'll take Jonas Valanciunas barely. Similar game totals or team totals. Mitchell or Atlanta Bog? Give me Atlanta Bog. They're both going to be like 10% owned, but less risk there. Does Mitchell get full run tonight or will minutes be limited? I'm giving him 34, which is kind of like in between full run and not. I wouldn't be shocked if he plays 30 or 34. The exact answer is we'll find out later tonight. My guess is that Mitchell is not going to be extremely minutes limited, but he might only play 30 minutes. I don't expect 24 or 25, but he might only play 30 minutes. I've got him at like 33.5. Randall or Embiid today? Give me Embiid. Sad, do you like Westbrook over on rebounds and prize picks and Bertans 3-point? I know I have no way to judge 3-pointers. There's really no strong way to project it in my opinion. So I don't really have anything to give you on the 3-pointer range. I don't play them. I don't project them. I don't really have much knowledge there for you. But do I like Westbrook's over rebounds? If anything, I think I actually like Westbrook's under in the rebounds, which always scares me, so I usually never play it. So Westbrook right now, I like Westbrook under assists. Over on Westbrook's rebounds at 10.5 is fine. Yeah, I've got Westbrook for 11.4 rebounds. Do you expect the Philly game to be a blowout? No, I'm projecting it to stay close. Projecting them all to stay close. Randall or Embiid? Give me Randall. I can't hear you, somebody says. You can't hear me, Mike McCall. I think everybody else can, right? Everybody else, mic check, mic check. We got about 5 more minutes left. How many Knicks is too many? I think 4 at most from a team today. Alrighty, gang. I think we're going to bounce. So if you can like and subscribe before you leave, get your final questions in right now. Support the sponsors of the program, the lovely people over at Prize Picks. You use the code SAL, S-A-L. It's linked in the description below. You get up in Prize Picks and you make yourself some nice wages. We placed one earlier today. We can go back into that one. But I think my favorite props are the under Bojan, 19.5. That's number one. The over 4 rebounds today on Jaren Jackson Jr. And the over 11.5 points on Jaren Jackson Jr. I think those are my favorite options right now. And then we placed this earlier today. The over 37 on Mitchell fantasy points. The under 28 on Bogdanovich. I like the unders on most of his scoring things today, right? And then the over 39 on Jonas Valanciunas, which that's the one that does scare me a little bit, but I think the blocks upside on Prize Picks gives us an advantage. Use the code SAL. If you're in New York, you are now legal only on this site. It's the only site right now. It's an advantage to bet on sports, player props, all that type of stuff. Over unders. Check it all out. Link down below if you need more information on that. Jonas Valanciunas for Mitchell in the utility. J-Val. Any blowouts tonight to pivot towards bench players? I personally will not be doing that. I understand the reasoning too. There's a really good chance if you can nail the right one. The problem is you have to predict the blowout. You have to predict that it happens and it actually matters at the time that it happens. And then you have to predict who benefits in a blowout, which is usually random on who benefits. So it's like throwing a dart 100 yards and trying to hit a fucking balloon, right? Seems pretty difficult, but it might happen sometimes. Sorry if you fancies, but what are your thoughts on favors? Not in play for me. I got him for like 13.5 points. Any Patreon deals? I can't run any deals on Patreon, sadly. They don't have any ways to do coupons. Otherwise, I'd be doing it on these streams all the time. I'm trying to move over to a WordPress site. That is the Big Energy website that I just showed you in preview do. Is there any 3K guys you feel somewhat comfortable playing? Yes. Bertans and Taj Gibson in that order. But there's no Patreon deals right now, sadly. But if you can sign up. I mean, the prices on Patreon are already like, I don't know, I would say at least 50% lower than everywhere else in the industry. Go make that cash, Sal, and send me one of your famous omelets, bro. Yo, my omelets are fucking banging. I didn't have an omelet today. Maybe I'll make one now. Actually, you know what? I'm probably going to go make an omelet right now. Haven't had an omelet in a while. Alrighty, gang. Peace out. Appreciate you all tuning into this one. You all rock. Best of luck. 3-game slates continue to smash. And we got the Yalf Charles Schwab challenge starting tomorrow. All the tools, the optimizer. I think I already loaded the optimizer, but the projections, the ranks, all that type of stuff are already up for that. You can check them all out. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you all a bunch. Another NBA video tomorrow morning. Another live stream tomorrow afternoon. Thanks, bro. Holla at you in the Discord. Go fund me for Dizzy Dizzy. Yeah, for sure. Peace out, everybody. You all rock. Peace.